Post requests are used to set data to the API server. Post requests are used to set data to the API server to create or update a resource. To create or update a resource. Full stop. The data sent to the server is stored in the request body. The data sent to the server is stored in the request body. The data sent to the server is stored into the request body of the HTTP request. So, next point. Post request is non-idempotent. Post request is non-idempotent. As it mutates data on the backend. As it mutates data on the backend server. As it mutates data on the backend server. By creating or updating a resource. Post request is non-idempotent. IDEMPOTENT. Idempotent. As it mutates data on the backend server by creating or updating a resource. Done. Perfect. Now write down the third one. Put. Put requests are used to send data to the API. Put requests are used to send data to the API to create and update a resource. To create and update a resource. Full stop. Next point, the difference between put and post. The difference between put and post request, put and post request is that put requests are idempotent. Put requests are idempotent. That is calling the same put request multiple times, will always produce the same result. In contrast, calling a post request repeatedly may have side effects of creating a same resource, multiple times. So put and post have got this difference that if you're going to call post method 5 times and that post method basically creates a record into the database, there will be 5 records that will get created into the database. But when it that is called as non-idempotent. When it comes to put method, when you're going to call the put method for 5 times, it is going to create it only for the first time. So the first time it created a resource, and then the next time it will not create the same resource. So that's what the difference is. And by the way, these are all ideologies and conventions of these different methods. Whatever you want to do in the put method, do that. again. But normally the ideology or the convention what is followed is that if you're calling a put method, that means that it's an idempotent method. But if you're calling a post method, then that means it's a non-idempotent method. That's it. Clear? Move on. Okay. Next, fourth, patch. Patch method. It is similar to post and put. It is similar to post and put, but the only difference with patch, is that you apply partial modification. Is that you apply partial modification to the resource. As the name suggests, patch, simple modification that you're doing to an existing resource is what is called as a patch. Next point in the patch method, it is also non-idempotent. It is also non-idempotent. Done? Okay. Next, fifth one, delete. It is used to delete the resource at a specified URL. It is used to delete the resource at a specified URL. Clear? Okay. So these are some methods, and there are some many more others also that have been created along the way. But yeah, these are some methods that you can declare and use when it comes to creating the API into Salesforce. Okay. So we're good with this, right? Get method, post method, whatever method you want to create, we can create it into a single API. So till now, what we have learned is this is an A, this is an external system, and this is your Salesforce. This is not Salesforce, this is Amoeba. This is also not Salesforce, but yeah. So if the API is there, and from external system you want to call it, you can call it. This is all what we have learned up till now. But what if the API is there in the external system and we want to call that API in our Salesforce code? Right? Can we do that? Can we call an API outside? Let me write it down, API over here. If the API exists in the external system and in the Apex code, in the normal Apex class, we want to make an API call. Can we do that? Okay, we can do that. We can call this API. There's no problem with that. And this is basically called as an Apex callouts. So earlier what we discussed was creating an API, that was Apex API, creating an API using Apex. But now what we're talking about is calling an API inside Apex, right? And that's what we call as an Apex caller. Apex caller. So currently, like again, I'm going to explain it once again so that if any one of you have any confusion, can understand it well. Creating an API into Salesforce and then calling it from an external system is fine. We have done that. We have done that with Postman. We have done that with Workbench. But that's not what you're going to do along in the actual scenarios. What you're going to do is you're going to create a Java application. You're going to create a PHP application. You're going to create another application. And over there, you're not going to use Postman. Over there, you're going to make an API call out. Give me a second. Before moving to Apex callouts, I want to explain something. in this external system, up till now we were using Postman and everything to make mock callouts. But when we're going to make actual callouts, then if you're going to create it in Java, then Java has got a specific syntax or a specific class, a specific methods using which you can make a callout and you can request something, you can get the response and you can pass it. If you're making it in PHP, let's say a mean stack or something in JavaScript, you can make a call out to this API and then you can get the response and pass the string and whatever you want to do, you can do it over there. So this is what you're going to do. This is not what I have covered because I'm not going to explain you how to create applications in different languages, right? That you can already do. But you need and there is a specific syntax for every language, for every different language, for which you can make the call out. But there are some similar things that you have to do over there, like which type of HTTP method it is, what is the URL, what do you want to pass in the body, what do you want to pass in the header, stuff like that, right? And when it comes to authentication, how you have to write down the program. First, you'll have to make a request to get the access token, and then you'll have to save that access token somewhere. And then, whenever you're making the request again in that program, let's say in that PHP website, you're going to send that token again and again whenever you're making the request, right? So that's something that you'll have to write down. Now, this is one thing. If API is on the external system, right? Then inside Apex, what code we can write down so that we can make a call out to this particular API, and that's what we call as an Apex call out. I think I'll not be able to explain it to you today because I'm not able to stand right now. So what I want you to do, like in the meantime, is, or like till tomorrow, is create all the methods: Apex put, patch, post, get, and delete. All of these methods. Create a class called as account management. Write it down. Create a class called as account management in Apex, which should have the following functionality. First, if we pass the record ID, then it should return us. The records information in the JSON format. Right? Number two, which using this API, we should be able to create a new account record. Using this API, we should be able to create a new account record. If we want to modify any field's value into an account record, we should be able to do it. By just passing the record ID. And the field value, by just passing the record ID and the field name and field value, which we want to modify. Done? Which you want to modify. So that's what it is. And next, if we pass a record ID, we should be able to delete a record of account also. If we pass a JSON array, which includes multiple accounts information, then we should be able to create all of those accounts in one go. We should be able to create all of those accounts in one go. So this is something that you have to create in Apex, right? And from tomorrow we'll talk about Apex callouts, like how we can make callouts outside of Salesforce. So right now, okay. By the way, so if the API is here and we are making a call out from an external system to the API, this is called as inbound integration. But if the API is in the external system and we are making a call out in Apex, then it is called as outbound integration. Done? Okay. That's it for today. Tomorrow I'm going to explain you Apex callouts, and then we're going to move to the next topic as well.